Hey YouTube world, yours truly, Kieron the Barber, back with another video. This time it is a big transformation. Jay hasn't had his haircut since the beginning of December, so we are in for a big surprise at the end of this video. Start off with a 1.5, taking away that bulk, removing it, because man, that's a lot of bulk. So start with 1.5. Usually we'll have it open just to give it a little bit of leeway. Give yourself a gap, place to work with, and yeah, just remove that bulk. So from there, we'll usually, with Jay's hair, we don't take it right down to skin. We usually come down on the 1.5, and then we'll go to like the half fairly high, and then the very bottom we'll do the 0. Like I'm talking like a proper little 0 taper, nothing too crazy, nothing too high. But even with that bulk removal, what I want to still do is take off that overhanging hair, so when I'm doing the half, that hair then doesn't fold over, doesn't fold on me, so there's no shadowing. I can see exactly where I'm going. So again, I always advise when you're first doing a haircut, clear path is the key to perfection. Cleaning your path, cleaning your way through to a perfect fade. Don't fade over anything heavy, etc, because it's more likely that it won't work or it won't do as well. So the best thing to do is just remove that bulk first. So starting with my half, as you can see, I'm coming fairly high. I'm not dropping ever so low because I want to take that crown quite high as well. Not take it off, but take it high enough for where it's got a decent fade on it. And then we're going to start blending that in. So with my one open, as you can see, I'm just rubbing that and then just flicking out at the very ends. That helps with my fades loads, just from using the flicking that out. And then onto my one closed. Just starting to now see that fade come into play, come into transition. Jay's hair is actually quite, he's got a lot of hair, but it's quite fine hair. You can see it's quite separate, it's not thick. So it's a lot harder to fade in than normal hair because it's quite separate. You see like there's thinner patches in his hair than where it would be thick and smooth. So with Jay's hair, it takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of going over, especially with like say the half guard. As I've said in my last few videos, the half guard is the lifesaver to anyone. So anyone getting a pair of clippers, make sure if it doesn't come with a half guard, make sure you grab yourself a half guard, because this is the key to success, is the half guard. It's I never had that when I was first learning. We never had a half guard at all. There was no such thing. It's only been around the last few years, like really the last few years. So yeah, no, the half guard is the one, and that's what you want to be using. So then from the half guard, I'll be using a little bit of trigger play, going back and forth, just making sure that half is then completely blended in, and then we'll go from the 0 at the very bottom. But yeah guys, I've been making a lot of YouTube videos recently. I'm back. Do you know what, I really have missed making them, and now I've got a formula what really works. I'm editing it on my MacBook Pro now, so it's a lot quicker, it's a lot easier. I find it a lot smoother to watch and edit while I'm narrating. I also find it just a lot easier to do really. And then I've got like the monopod. The monopod was a big thing, so I can literally have the camera there while I'm cutting, and the tripod and the ring lights, they don't actually get in the way anymore, so I find it's a lot easier to film a lot faster, etc. I'm just back and I'm really enjoying filming again. So as I said, I want to try and get up to, my channel's currently got 80 plus videos. By the end of 2020, I want to be hitting 200 videos on this channel. It's a big ask, it's a really big ask, but 200 videos. I've done 87 videos in 5 years, so let's see if we can make it 200 and see if I can get 120 videos out of them a year. You're gonna have 120 videos of me just chatting absolute crap to you all. So I apologise, you gotta put up with me, I'm afraid. So don't, as I always say in all my videos, you know, this is not a lit firework, you can go back to it. So make sure if you're feeling that your fade needs going over, the client will not be angry if you don't mind going back over with a 1 and the 1.5, running back upwards just to make sure that's nice and clean and nice and clear. Now, I actually filmed the other side of Jay's hair. Well, I thought I filmed it, but the camera wasn't turned on. My fault, guys, and I apologise. I did exactly the same stuff as I did on the other side. So, going to the back now. Can you guys in the comments just let me know how you're finding my filming and finding the way I'm editing? Do you find it a lot easier to view, or is there a certain angle that you guys would want me to use a bit easier, where you think you would see the haircut better and stuff like that? Just let me know in the comments down below. Also, while I'm here and while I'm debulking with a half, this is going to take at least 10 seconds, so if you know what you're doing, just click off, click the like button, click back on. That'd be sick. My last video is actually doing really well. Pav's video got nearly 100 likes, so if I push for 150 likes on this video, that's all I'm asking for. 150 likes. It's not a lot. We're going to build this up over the 200 videos that I'm going to make. We are slowly going to build it up, and by the end of this, I at least want one of these videos to have 1,000 likes. That is my goal for this year, to have one video on 1,000 likes. If it's this video and you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. So, using exactly the same technique as what I'm doing on the sides, went from debulking with the 1.5, going down with a half, coming back up with the 1.5, and then closing that to a 1 and just making sure that's blended in. You then gone to the half guard, I apologise, half guard open and half guard closed, just getting that perfect blend, and then going scissor over comb or clipper over comb, whichever you feel more comfortable with, to make sure that back, the crown isn't hanging over, but the crown is blended in but still heavy enough to make it look nice and smart. I love transformations. Like, Jay walked out of the shop a completely different person. Do not skip to the end right now to have a look. No peeking allowed. Let me tell you that. You have to wait. I'm waiting. I'm sitting here watching the video with you guys right now. So then, as you can see, my hand speed is very fast. This is not sped up. This is my normal hand speed. So clip over comb, 90-degree angle. I'm using a white comb. Why am I using a white comb? Comment down below if you know the reason why I am using a white comb. Because there's a big reason why people use white and black combs, and if you know the reason down below in the comments, just let me know. I want to hear your opinions on it. So making sure that crown is nice and heavy but still blended. Sometimes people find that hard to do because they feel like if you leave the crown hanging over, sometimes it can look like it's bulky or not blended in, etc, etc. There's definitely a niche to it, and I think where a lot of barbers will tell you practice makes perfect, and time and haircuts, the more you do the better you get. And I think it's just one of the things, is you just have to keep going and keep going and keep going, and you will eventually get it. I'm still learning every day. Like, at night times, what I'll do is, I'll usually when we go to bed, I'll stick on a few haircutting videos, and I'll watch a few guys, or girls. There's a few out there who are really talented at the minute, and they're on YouTube, and I love watching things and picking up tips. For me, as a YouTube barber, I love watching the haircuts because I love getting good detail of what people are doing. Plus, I like seeing the way people film it and what people are doing, how people are doing it, what music they're listening to, etc, etc, how they're describing the haircut. That helps you not only educate you guys, but it helps me educate myself also, so I enjoy doing that. Jay's beard, god, geezer looks homeless. So he described his beard, bless him. He went, I want a lot off, but not too much. That's exactly what he just said to me. He was like, I want a lot off, but please not too much. I was like, okay. So the 1.5 guard closed to me was the perfect guard. It's not too much. It's going to leave him with a darker shadow than usual, and it's enough to say, hey, he looks like he's had a good beard trim. Now coming down with my gold FX, they are so sharp. The thing is, yeah, they're sharp, but they're not sharp on the customer. They're just so sharp. They're just get them angles in there perfect as well. Damn, I'm secretly impressed. If you want something in your arson, then I advise these are a great trimmer. Coming down the back of Jay's neck, as you can see, I'm just pulling that out slightly. I'm not curving it right down straight. I don't want to take off any of his facial hair. I'm just curving that out of the neck, and then coming from the point of his jaw down to the middle of his neck. So I'm not following the jawline, coming from the jaw down to the middle of his neck. What that does is that elongates his face and gives him a pretend jawline, almost a fake jawline. It makes the beard look sharp. It makes his jawline really stand out. It's the only way I actually myself get a jawline, so that's why I do it to myself. But yeah, no, and then as the FX just to remove that bulk. Now what I did with this haircut was I started cutting Jay's underneath his beard with the foils. After I finished all this, I started cutting it with the foils, and then I realised all of a sudden that his skin is quite sensitive. So what we did was we went around back and put some talcum powder on there. Talcum powder is a great barrier protection for people who have sensitive skin or bumps. I'd advise, if you're using the trimmers, to whack a little bit of talcum powder on there and then go over with the foils. The talcum powder will not only it won't break your foils because it's just powder, but it will create a barrier over the skin, and it's so much better. That was my fault for not using that on JJ. Always reminds me, but it's been a long time since I cut his hair, so you know, it's not my fault. So as you can see, I start using the foils, and then Jay will moan in a minute and he'll go, oh, that hurts, stop it. And then I will use some talcum powder on there. But you will get clients with sensitive skin, so this is a really good trick if you find clients who have sensitive skin but they still want the foils, whether it's on the side of their head, the top of their head, down the neck, or underneath their beard. Talc is always a good idea. That's what I would say. That's what I would use. There we go, there we go. And now you can see with the foils, even with the FX, it's just one or two hairs that are a little long there, especially on his Adam's apple. It's quite big, so just go very gently over that. And then when we rub the foils, you can just see how much smoother they are on his skin and how he's not moaning now. He's quite happy with that. And it's all good in the hood. Everybody's happy. The transformation's unreal. Just looks like a different kid. It looks like I've de-aged him by 20 years. Bless him. If you guys know Jay's been in a few of my videos now. He is my most watched video, actually. If you click on most viewed, you'll find Jay from about 4 or 5 years ago, where he was a kid. He had no beard at all and a massive pompadour. So now chipping in, literally just taking the ends off. Nothing too crazy. Just chipping into them ends because I want to leave it heavy, because we want to style it heavy. We don't want to take too much off. Make it look nice and smart, nice and easy. Just trim the fringe, just literally taking it out of his eyes. I want to leave it as heavy as I can. Now I used a little bit of Paul Mitchell Skinny Serum. I've talked in my videos a few times in the past. Paul Mitchell Skinny Serum is the way forward when using the blade or a pre-product, or you can use it in a lot of things. I swear by Skinny Serum, and my clients absolutely love it. It makes my blade just glide off of their face so nicely. Bit of mousse. I'm going old school recently. Like me and Richard, we're a bit of mousse whores. We love using mousse. Diffuser, my don of the. I don't know where I would be without my diffuser. Even like Jay's hair isn't curly at all. It's really straight. It's got a little kink to it, but it's really straight. So what we tend to do is we'll just use this and we'll just literally rotate on the hair. Nothing too crazy. What I want to do is, I don't want to make it curly, I just want to bring out them waves and lift it up from the crown. So I want to give his hair some real volume. So the diffuser isn't just for bringing out curls, it's for giving your hair volume, etc, etc. It's just an all-round good tool. Everybody in their shop should have a diffuser, I would say. A lot of my clients, they go home and I'll tell them to buy a diffuser. So they're either, if they're young kids, I'll beg their mum, you best have a diffuser, or they will go out and buy one themselves, because the diffuser is the way forward. Always looking after my customers. I've got to make sure their hair and their face is de-haired before we start. What am I looking for? Hair powder. Yes. The Donny of all products, hair powder. If you don't have hair powder in your shop, what are you doing wrong? Because I think we go for about 4 bottles of hair powder a week in our shop. 1, we're a really busy shop, and 2, everybody uses hair powder. It's seriously the way forward. Yes, look at that. I've literally transformed him. Guys, comment down below what you think of the transformation. What would you give out of 10? That's what I want to know. Let me know in the comments down below. If you like the transformation, please give me a thumbs up, give it a like, help these videos. YouTube analytics sting me. So if you can get, as I say, go down, give me a like, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Woohoo. To finish, a little bit of hairspray. Nothing too, I say a little bit, look at me, I'm pouring that on. tiny bit of hairspray. You don't need to use as much as me. I overdo it sometimes. But what a finished product. Changed his life. You could literally go on Love Island now. Look at him, good looking kids. Still trying to work out how to stable this. Make this look good all the way around. I'm trying my best. I'm gonna have to get people to spin the chair.